Hello, good people. Welcome back to another lesson of Python. Today, we're going to cover on variables, more on variables and data types. We can have that. We can have that for now. Let's get started. So I'm going to create a folder here. Not there. Let's call it variables. So we're going to create a readme file. We're going to use to write our notes. Sorry. So, sorry. Let's do variables today. So, okay. Basically, I had given a brief introduction of variables initially, but let's do more on variables today. So, variables are containers. Variables are containers for storing data. When you want to store data in programming, we store them in variables, whereby variables are containers for storing data. For example, you can say A equals to 12. As now, here it means that A is storing 12, so A is the variable that has stored 12. If we print A, we want to print, it's going to show us 12, what we've stored in A. It's going to show us 12, which is what we've stored in A. This is an example of how to create a variable in Python. For numbers, we use A is 12. For strings, we'll say it equals to John Doe. This is how we create variables in Python. Here we place A and B. So let's create a file. And then we use this. We see how it's going to print in our terminal. So here the variables I've just copied from the readme file, A and B, and I've just pasted it here. On our terminal, we're going to run the file, then we see what it prints. So let's go to a variable folder, then we run Python 1.0. So right now I have run 1.0. It doesn't show me anything. I bet it can't show me anything. It's a file that doesn't have a print or doesn't have any output. So let's print A and B. Print. I will print A and B, so I'll see if we get print A and print B. So now let's run our file. When we run our file, we see the 12 and John Doe, the name. So this shows that our variables have been stored in the letters. We have A and B. But that's clear. We've stored. So our variables are containers for storing data. We've stored 12 and John Doe in our variable A and B, which we've printed and seen below. We can proceed. So we can go back to our readme file. So if we want to see what is printed in the type of we print A and B. I'm just repeating. We will print A, we'll see 12. We print B, we'll see John Doe. At times we want to check the type of the data type, what is stored in A, what is stored in B, so we can alter. At times I want to have 12 as integer, but I want to have it as a string. So if right now I do a string before 12, a string will put a string. If you want to make 12 a string, because at times we have it being we have 12 being a string. So when I do run that, it should show me 12 being a string, so it's no longer an integer, right? I guess that's it for our. If you want to see the type of, right now, the 12 being, what's being printed here is a string, but in our terminal we still have just as a 12 as it was initially. So if we want to see the type of the data type being stored in A and B, so I can create another, so that our example becomes clear. I can create another variable C, have it as 12, so that we can see how, so that my expansion can be. Now in our example here, we have C having 12, A having string of 12, and B having string of John Doe. Now we want to see the data type being stored in C and A, so we're going to print A, then before the output we have the keyword type, so that it tells us what type A is. I hope that's clear. If we do that, now when we now run, we see A is a string. This is what I was trying to explain initially, that now we've changed A from being integer to a string. If we want to see what type C is, we can change our A to C. Then we run. Now in our terminal here, I want us to focus on this. Right now our C is an integer and our 12 is a string. So we've been able to change an integer to a string. I hope that was clear. That was a clear transition from an integer to a string. Then you see, check the data type of what is print. What is we print to see what the type of the converted variable. Now A stores a string, B is a string, C is an integer. I hope you've seen how you can convert an integer of 12 to a string. I hope that was clear. Another instance, another question that comes up all the time is you see how our B has been stored here. We've stored it in double quotes. Double quotes are this. This. So the question that comes up is, should our variables be stored in double quotes when they are strings, or single ones? Now, so it's either the double string. The question is, should our variables be stored in double quotes or single quotes? The answer is they're both the same. There's no difference. So whether you store in double quotes as we've done here, or single quotes, there's no difference. They both accept. They're both the same. They both give the same result. So there's no difference between using double quotes and single quotes. Hope that's clear. That's clear. Let's go to the next. At times in a variable, let's say a variable is A is so let's use a single quotes for now, so that we can see that it doesn't have a difference. A is John, right? Then we have A. John. Sorry. Now, from the variables we have here, A is in small letters and it's John. A, capital A, we have in double double quotes, and it's John. What we're trying to bring around here is that variables are case sensitive, so A and A won't override each other. They are both different variables. So to showcase this, I'm going to give an example of how variables are case sensitive. So I'm going to use this example, but I'm going to use this as John Doe in full, so that you see if we print A, it will give any difference. So let me comment this. So to comment, right now I'm using control button and /. That comments out all the code we have. So we select all, and then we type control plus /. That this comments out the selected section. If you have more than one line, you just select it all, then control /. Now that's clear. So I was coming to show you the override, the case sensitive quality of a variable. Variables are case sensitive, so A and A are not the same. So let's print and see what we have. Print. Oh my. Print. A. Then we print here again. So if we run this file, let's clear. When we clear, so clear, to ensure our terminal is clear, then we run again the file. So you see both are printed despite both having the letter A, which means variables are case sensitive. So the first one in line 10 is different from the one in line 11. Both are different, and variables are case sensitive. So whether if you write if you have a variable name called book, called book, then another called book, these are two different variables and they enter the same bit. The first one won't override the second one override the first one. They are both different. Hope that's clear. So we can say variables are case sensitive. Variables are case sensitive. Variable names. Okay. Variables, when I say variables, I mean variable names are case sensitive. I hope that's clear. Yeah, and I've shown you an example. I hope that's clear. If it's not clear, you can leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll get back to it. I hope that's it for the variables. We can go to the variable names in our next video. Let me see you there.